Guys, I'm getting my new bike tomorrow.
Great! Now I will come with Ron every day.
Do you have insurance?
What do you think? I have insurance, PUC, everything.
I was talking about life insurance for Sia.
Oh.
Jokes apart, guys. Life shouldn't be all pleasure today and pain tomorrow.
Yeah.
Seriously, life insurance is necessary.
LIC's new Jeevan Anand gives you double benefit, full payment on maturity and life cover continues lifelong.
Hey, hello. Do you have insurance?
What the world needs now is people who see energy a little bit differently. Because seeing a more sustainable world isn't far in the future. We're building it now. GE, building a world that works.
Feel the rush. On 14th August, 4 p.m. Hello XUV 700.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now, and it's time for us to hit the queries segment. And remember, there are a few changes that you absolutely need to know about. The first one is that we are also taking queries from WhatsApp. And in fact, if we can have the number play across the screen, if you haven't saved the number yet, you should do so. If you're watching from your homes and you're watching on television, then you can save this number, save it maybe as Buy Now, Sell Now queries or ET Now, and you can send us your queries on WhatsApp and we will take them. The other thing that you need to know is that there is a new segment towards the end of this query segment where we'll try and accommodate as many queries as possible, because queries have been absolutely flooding in. That's a rapid fire segment, so do stay tuned to the end of this 20 minutes and you'll find out more. Let me introduce our guests today. We've got Kunal Bothra as well as AK Prabhakar who've joined in. Thank you so much to the two of you gentlemen for taking the time. I want to start by asking about Motherson Sumi. We've got Syed Imad, who is asking about Motherson Sumi. He's bought at levels of 135 and he's currently making a loss, Mr. Prabhakar, but he's asking whether or not to hold on to this investment.
Good morning. The results in all the auto ancillary segment has not been very good. So due to that, there is a correction. There is a shortage of few raw materials which is impacting the auto ancillary pack. So I think we need to be patient if you are a long-term investor. If you are a very short-term player, then now this is not a segment which is doing very good. We need to move to alternatives like Sonocom. Sonocom is one which has given a quarter-on-quarter basis growth and even year-on-year basis growth. But I'm not. At current level, I don't think we need to exit Motherson Sumi. We need to be patient in good stocks.
All right, this next query is coming in from Ravi, and this one is a WhatsApp query that we've got. He's saying he's bought 400 shares of Gujarat State Fertilizer Corporation that is purchased at 148 rupees per share. He wants to know what sort of a target should he look at over the short term as well as the longer term. Kunal, what's your take on Gujarat State Fertilizers? How is this particular counter looking like? 148 is the buying price for Ravi.
So I think it seems to be that this is a bit of a old holding for the viewer, because I think 148 was one of the rates for GSFC somewhere, I think in 2017 or 2016 or just around those kind of time frames. So I think purely on that sense, the stock has been has gone through a worst phase where from 160 levels it went down to as much as even below $50 as well, and from there it's now recovering on a recovery mode. The stock has this history of going through V-shaped corrections. I would suggest that you should hold on to your investments for at least another couple of quarters, if not more. There's a higher probability that the stock can come back towards 160, 165. So I would suggest that you should hold on.
Okay. All right. Coming back to you, Kunal, on this next one, and the counter is Hinduja Global Solutions. We've got Sagar, who's bought 25 shares at levels of 1,212 for a swing trade, but now the stock has gone in a different zone, is what he's saying. So he's also pointing out that the stock is in ASM stage 4 list. Should he hold or exit?
See, I think I would suggest that have a two-pronged approach. Either a booking, partial profit booking approach at current levels, where you can start looking to maybe book out profits, say from starting from current levels of 3,500 odd, and then maybe another 200, 300 rupees on the upside is where you can keep on booking 10% of your 10 to 15% of your existing quantity. So I think in that sense you can capture the potential upside if the stock sees in the near term. But on the other hand, what I would also suggest is do have a trailing stop loss, because what has happened is because of the steep run in the last 4 quarters for Hinduja Global, from I think levels of 600, 700 to now levels of 3,500 odd, the RSI has come back into extremely overbought territories of 91, 92. Now we've seen many of the stocks on the mid-cap names, when they've hit RSI levels of 90 plus, they've gone through very sharp periods of correction. So purely on that aspect, I would suggest that start booking out profits, partial profit zone, and then also have a trading stop loss mechanism over here.
All right, before I bring on the next query, just for our experts, keep your answers little short so that we can accommodate more queries, and also we have the rapid fire round as well. So let me get on board on that note. The next query that we have, and this one also is from the WhatsApp. This one is from Seema Jaiswal, saying that Tata Power has given good results last quarter recently. What sort of a target should one look at for the next few quarters if you are invested in this counter? She has about 2,000 shares, which she's purchased at 132 rupees per share. But this question, I'll come to you, Mr. Prabhakar, with Tata Power. How does this counter look like? If somebody is betting on the stock, keeping in mind the earnings, are the earnings likely to surprise on the upside going ahead as well?
See, the company has gone into green energy. They are a major contractor of solar EPC, and they have a very big order book. I think it is more than 7,500 crores if I recollect it right. So this is for a long-term investor. So if you have 2-3 years time frame, then it is a good hold. Short-term giving a target is very difficult, but in next 5 years, I think this stock should be a doubler.
Okay, I'm coming back to you on this one, Mr. Prabhakar, and this one is a question coming in from Sudeep. He's asking about L&T Finance. He's bought at levels of 128. He's asking if he should sell at a loss or should he average at the current price? He can hold for 1 to 2 years, he's saying.
L&T Finance, I'm not comfortable with the business model. I think Chola Finance is a better company. So shifting to Chola Finance will be better.
The next query that I have is from Deepak Dave from Gandhinagar. He's saying that he has 2,000 shares of Madras Fertilizers. Wants to know whether he should continue to hold on to this counter. Kunal, Madras Fertilizer, do you have a view on this stock? And if yes, what should Deepak do?
I would suggest that you should try and shift it up to some of the better quality names on the fertilizer pack. I think something like a Chambal Fertilizer looks to be more stronger, more robust in terms of price action. The volumes there is quite consistent. The price action has been quite smooth for Chambal Fertilizer. So I would suggest that you should switch out from Madras Fertilizer to Chambal.
Okay, we've got Salama Matthews written in. Thank you so much, Salama, for taking the time. She's asking about MCX and IEX for the medium to long term, Mr. Prabhakar. And would you prefer either or both of these stocks?
IEX is something I like. It is at a power trading exchange. So I think IEX is a buy or hold from my side. MCX also exchanges is something we like. Even BSC we like. So somebody who is having a long-term tenure, they can hold on to the stock.
All right, this one is from Joy Matthew. He's from Kerala. He's saying that he's bought 800 shares of Jubilant Pharmova at 770 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should sell or hold it for some more months. Kunal, what's your take on this particular counter, Jubilant Pharmova?
I think you should hold on, even though the stock is going through a corrective phase. I believe it has a very strong history of rallying up significantly higher into very short bursts of but very swift and very strong phases of an uptrend. So I think purely on that sense, you should try and ride out this quiet phase, this consolidation phase, because I believe that whenever the next round of upmoves begins for the stock, it could be possible that the stock may even touch back, about the four-digit mark as well. So I think if time frame is not an issue, I believe you should hold on to your investments over here.
Kunal, I'm coming back to you on Manappuram Finance. We've got Satish who's asking, and specifically for the short term, because if you look at the last few days, it's seen quite a bit of a battering, but it's up today in trade. Is that a bottom and can it be bought?
Well, I would suggest that avoid the stock at least as of now, because when you see such kind of a 3-day, 4-day of a very sharp selling pressure, it dents the stock perspective or the stock trend for the near to medium term. So the last 4 or 5 days, the stock has fallen from 215, 218 levels to a 170, 168 where it's currently trading. So it's been a very sharp selling which has happened for Manappuram Finance, and that typically happens when you see change of direction to the stock price, and change of direction is not what you want to probably trade in such kind of name. So if the stock is actually drifting lower, why look at it more as a contrarian buy and then keep on holding the stock for 3 to 6 months kind of a time frame if you have a short term outlook. So I would suggest avoid as of now, and then probably wait out for stock levels of closer to 145, 150. I think that's where I believe a durable bottom could be in place for the stock.
All right, this one is from Janardhan. He is from Bengaluru. He's saying that he has 100 shares of JK Tyres, which he's purchased at 166 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should continue to hold on or sell over the longer term. Mr. Prabhakar, what's your take coming in on JK Tyres? Somebody already has a holding in it. Makes sense to stay put with this particular counter?
Yeah, no, even tire companies, I was talking about auto ancillary. Now both are facing some trouble. But I think for a long-term investor, tire can be invested, and you need to have patience in auto and auto ancillary for the time being.
Understood. Mr. Prabhakar, we're getting quite a few questions both for OMCs as well as ONGC. So I'm going to club it all together. We've got one or two, in fact, who are holding on to the likes of HPCL. And they're pointing out that it's not really doing too much for them. What's your view on the space, and which counter would you buy? Would you say Reliance Industries, for example, would be a good bet in the space?
See, there are a lot of things in this. You take BPCL, now it has a 58 rupee dividend. So, and that is one of the best in this OMC if you take the PSU OMCs. So that is something where we can play for a dividend play, and today is the result. That becomes even more risky. But when you take away this dividend play and disinvestment, HPCL also is looking very attractive to me. But ONGC, for some reason, they have from a cash rich company, they have gone to a very high debt company. So I would avoid ONGC or IOC. I would prefer HPCL and BPCL in this play. But private player is always better, so Reliance is always better for me.
Okay, this one is from K. Parthasarthi from Chennai, saying he is holding 450 shares of BHEL at an average price of about 77 rupees per share. He wants to know what to do right now with this counter, because it's definitely fallen off those levels. So he wants to know whether he should sell the counter or stay put with it and add some more. Kunal, what should Mr. Parthasarthi do with this holding in BHEL?
I think it's going to be tricky because the near-term charts have dropped significantly for BHEL from 77, 78, which was the previous major high. The stock has fallen back below the 55, 56 kind of level. What is concerning is the fact that the stock has broken below its major technical support and HM kind of a pattern support, which is a bit of a concern because this generally indicates that the trend seems to have reversed on the downside for BHEL. So what I would suggest is that no need to average your holdings at current levels. Just wait for maybe another 3-4 weeks. I think if the stock sees a recovery and if it comes back to say about 60 levels, then we can expect that the base which the stock is currently trading could be more of a formidable base. But otherwise, if the stock goes through a corrective phase and even fails to cross about the 60 levels over the next 2 to 3 weeks, I think that could be a point where you can look to decide and then exit the stock.
Kunal, coming back to you on Z Entertainment, we've got Abhishek who's asking, and he points out that he asked yesterday as well. Abhishek, there are a lot of people who asked yesterday who didn't get the answers, but we attempt to take as many as possible. He's asking for a 2 to 3 month view. Kunal, should he buy at this point?
I would suggest complete avoid the stock. Is very tricky because it gives you those flashes of rally, and every time it rallies up towards 220, 230 mark, there seems to be a confidence which tends to build up. But then the reversal on the downside is very, very fluid and very swift for Z. So which means that the stock is unable to break past above its major resistances and is very susceptible towards correction. So these are not the kind of stocks which you should look out for trading if you have a 2 to 3 month kind of a time horizon. I would suggest an avoid.
Alright, this one is from Ray and he's asking about Astro Microwave, and for the longer term he already has 100 shares which he's purchased at an average price of 110 rupees per share. Mr. Prabhakar, how does Astro Microwave look over the longer term if someone is already invested like Ray?
Astra Micro I have not been tracking, so I won't be able to comment on that.
Kunal, would you want to take this one, Astro Microwave? How does this look on the charts?
Well, it looks attractive, Cheryl. The only catch over here is that what's actually happened is that the last 6-7 quarters, 4-5 quarters, many of these stocks have done phenomenally well. Same is the case with Astra Micro. From 70 rupees, the stock had moved up to 180, 185, and is now going through a corrective phase. Now, as I said, the catch could be that if this is just a normal correction in the course of the long term, then the possibility of the stock trying to find a near-term bottom around 150, 145 could be pretty much high. So just keep a watch on how the mid-caps and small-cap index behaves. If there is not too much of a selling in the broader markets, then there is a possibility that Astra Micro can break past above its previous lifetime high as well. So it seems to be a good chart. I would suggest a hold as of now and then wait for further confirmations in terms of broader market view as well.
Okay, Mr. Prabhakar, coming to you on RT surfactants, we've got Soumitra who's asking whether it's a good counter for the long term. It's certainly active in trade today.
No, I have not been actively tracking this stock, but so there also I won't be able to comment. I track Galaxy Surf Excel. That is a stock where I think it is a good hold. But now, due to the COVID lockdown, the business, FMCG business has not been good. So there has been some impact.
Okay. So I do want to point out here that, and I pointed out at the start of this segment, that we are going to have a rapid fire segment. Now, just to remind both our experts, I'm going to be coming to you very fast with queries. I'm going to try and alternate between the two of you, but you'll have to give me a view very quickly: buy, sell, hold, or avoid, and maybe a line of justification. So let's hit the rapid fire segment now. I'm going to start with Mohammed's question. JP Infra, would you suggest that this is a possibility to invest in, Mr. Prabhakar?
Avoid.
Okay, coming to you, Kunal, and MTAR Technologies, would you say that this is a good entry level to buy?
Well, yes, I would suggest to buy at current levels.
Okay, Strides Pharmaceuticals, I'm coming back to you on this one, Kunal. Strides Pharma, 100 shares bought at 795. Can it be held for 6 months?
I would suggest sell on and move on to some other large cap pharma name.
Okay, Tata Communications, okay, I'm going to take another one, sorry. Panacea Biotech, I'm going to come to you on this one, Mr. Prabhakar. Would you suggest that it's a good buy? Sri Kumar is, or rather hold, Sri Kumar is asking.
Avoid.
Alright, this one is from Puneet. India Glycol, 722, 100 shares. What should he do? Buy, hold, or sell, Kunal?
Hold, and if possible, then use dips to average as well.
All right, this one is Luke wants to know about Techno Electric. 320 shares is what he has. What should he do with this counter, Kunal?
I would suggest to hold on to this stock, even though it's a bit illiquid, but I would suggest to hold on.
Me. Amit wants to know about Anthony Waste holding at 315 levels. Mr. Prabhakar, should he hold on?
Hold the stock.
Okay, we've got Vimala who's asking about Cyient, and I'm coming to you on this one, Kunal. What are the prospects for the next 6 months? Should it be bought into?
Absolutely, I think it's a phenomenal stock. Should be bought into. Use corrections as a good averaging opportunity.
All right. All right. And now I do want to point out that this is a trial and we will fine tune it over a period of time. Do bear with us. We've tried to take as many questions as possible, and I'd like to thank both our experts for being so sporting and for being on their toes for this last couple of minutes particularly. Thank you to the both of you for taking the time and for answering all the questions that you did answer. We're slipping into a short break, but more on the other side, so do stay tuned.
Feel the rush. On 14th August, 4 p.m. Hello XUV 700.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई आग से बचाए।
Aptus Value Housing Finance